What is precession? It refers to the movement of the rotational axis of a body, such as a planet, with respect to inertia, space. In particular, it refers to the precession of the Earth's rotational axis, also called the precession of the equinoxes. Like a wobbling top, the orientation of the Earth's axis is slowly but continuously changing, tracing out the conal shape in a cycle period called the Great Year. In ancient times, the precession of the equinox referred to the motion of the equinox relative to the background stars in the zodiac. This is equivalent to the modern understanding. It acts as a method of keeping time in the great years. This approximate cyclic motion, 25,960 years, is the gravitational forces of the sun and moon, and to a lesser extent, other bodies. And it determines the factors in the length of an astrological age. This movement is also caused by the gravitational forces of the sun and moon acting together.
Known as the Precession of the Equinoxes. The ancient Egyptians, along with cultures long before them, recognized that approximately every 2150 years, the sunrise on the morning of the spring equinox would occur in a different sign of the zodiac. This has to do with a slow, angular wobble that the Earth maintains as it rotates on its axis. It is called a precession because the constellations go backwards rather than through the normal yearly cycle. The amount of time it takes for the precession to go through all 12 signs is roughly 25,765 years. This is also called the Great Year, and ancient societies were very aware of this, and they referred to each 2150-year period as an age. From 4300 BC to 2150 BC, it was the age of Taurus, the bull. From 2150 BC to 1 AD, it was the age of Aries, the ram. And from 1 AD to 2150 AD, it is the age of Pisces, the age we are still in to this day. And in and around 2150, we will enter the new age, the age of Aquarius.
Hello and welcome to Astroprep Futurekeys Production. Our primary function here is to relate the facts establishing structures of geological conditions to the events within the eons, eras, periods, epochs, and ages. What was the pattern and designs of the constellational stars that showed us the way during each of the geological events? And how did humankind develop and adapt within consciousness by seeking to understand it. Our focus is simple, that we are all continuously growing up the DNA ladder of time, and our story is being told within the constellational patterns of stars and the geological records of time. Our search now is to locate by finding the various links through geological and constellational timing. Geologists have divided the Earth's history into huge divisions of time called eons. Eons are considered the main division of geological time. Eons are divided into smaller yet grand spans of time called eras, and eras subdivide into very long divisions of time called periods, epochs, and ages. The eon has a number of periods, each of which is divided into epochs. About the geological time divisions. Geological divisions of time. Eons divide into eras. Eras divide into periods. Periods divide into epochs. Epochs divide into ages. Ages divide into 2160 years times 12 ages, equaling 25,920 years. Formula for the galactic age periods. On screen is a visual of age periods of the Milky Way galaxy. These same periods of time could also be linked to the geological time scales, which express cycles of time here on the planet Earth. The Milky Way galaxy establishes its age periods by way of the following formula. The Milky Way galaxy follows a cycle pathway known as the plane of the Milky Way, defining its direction of galactic rotation. This plane, meaning pathway, rotation, and/or stream motion, expresses that the Milky Way galaxy cycles within the plane of the Milky Way rotational pathway in 25,920 years total. On screen is a visual of how the total rotational pathway of the Milky Way galaxy divides itself into 12 sections as it transits around the plane of the Milky Way. If we divide 12 sections into 25,920, our result should be 2160 years per section, or 2160 times 12 equals 25,920 years. We can also visualize on screen that each section of 2160 is also equal to 30 degrees. Let's say that 12 times 30 equals 360 degrees total. And we can also add that each section adding up to 30 degrees equals 72 years. 72 years times 30 degrees equals 2160. 12 times 2160 equals 25,920 years. A rotation of the Milky Way galaxy. And finally, at this vantage point, within our mind's eye, we can see the planet Sun shifting within the starry constellational skies, a planet unto itself, wandering in and out of ages. These ages of our planet suns are huge and only can be seen by generations of humans at a time. Humans are the only ones that can express what the planet Sun is experiencing, because our sun is telling a story that is being experienced by way of its influential inhabitants. Thank you. This has been a Futurekeys production. Thank you. This is a Futurekeys production.